That's what we do. All right,
Get started with. We'll go ahead and get started with our work session. Work sessions are an opportunity for board members to discuss issues informally with the staff and invited guests. The board encourages members of the public to attend work sessions and listen to the discussion, but there is generally no opportunity for public comment. Members of the public wishing to address the board are welcome to do so during the board's regularly scheduled monthly meetings. On the topics, we have events and rolling calendar.
Yeah. Got the, agenda item for this, got the, OCAT trainings, it's like Cabby and Stephanie got theirs done this month, so. The link's there again, you guys get that completed, you can send me that.
Mine is rescheduled for this month, just so you know, so I have it on my calendar and we'll be able to do so.
Okay, one thing I want to talk about, I'm interested in going to the International Fairs Association convention. But it is during the same day as your December meeting, and so I wanted to talk to you guys about that and see if you wanted to postpone the meeting a week or if you had something else in mind. So, yeah, that convention is November 29th through December 4th, I believe. And your guys' meeting would be on the 2nd of that month. So I'm not sure how we would manage the meeting without it, as far as setting up the virtual meeting or something like that, but wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Reschedule.
I'd be okay rescheduling for next week.
Okay.
Oh, Lucinda, yeah, sorry, me, sorry.
So that would be December 9th. And so if you look at the agenda calendar this month, we have this agenda. Next month, got a draft of some bylaws for you guys. I've got it to Anthony right now to look at before I send it to you, but I'll bring that to you guys in a work session next month. Basically, your existing one is that it's in your binder, but it's that really light page that basically just says there's 5 of you and you participate at the fair. And so we get that to you guys for some input next month. I'll bring back the security deposit and deposit policies next month. We did get 2 agenda requests forms, one from OSET that wants to make a request to you guys for their practices. And then one from the Astoria High School for their senior celebration for grad night. So those will be on the calendar. You will have the applicants for the terms that are expiring at the end of this year. So you guys will check those out at the next meeting. And then the county commission will look at them on November 12th and then make appointments in December. Their only regular meeting in December, if that schedule sticks. And then if we have this reduced fee policy in the work session, then I will bring that back to approval next month.
I'm moving closer.
I know, like, I don't know what it was today, but I was on the tractor most of the day, and then when I came up, I met somebody in the office. And I tried to talk and I was like, my voice is froggy. I don't know why. I've been quiet all day sitting in the machine.
Well, it was, I would get by and it's that
Thing running, but then I was having a hard time hearing, it. I'm sitting here.
Yeah, December. We approve those bylaws and then maybe the security and deposit policy. And then January will be the selection of chair and vice chair, we do every January. Some other dates that are not necessarily your agendas that I put at the bottom, so tomorrow we'll take this scope of work in the IGA to the county board. I think it's on your consent calendar, so, that should get approved tomorrow. The convention's next weekend, next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Applications for the new terms that start next year are due on October 31st. So if you're one of those members whose term's expiring, and if you would be interested in reapplying, get your application in by then. November 12th, the county board will see it, and then December 10th. Underneath it, there's some other items that need to be on the radar for us to work on that I don't necessarily have plugged in to a timeline, but, some fair board policies, I sent you guys an email after the joint session with both counties, but that's a project we can work on for you all. We'll need to get some stuff going out for the fair, the 2026 vendor handbook. We'll need to get you guys to look at that. We'll want to look at the camping rules again, so we can get those issued. We'll want to start talking about a fair theme. So those are some things that are, this whole section here are things that are on the radar. Questions?
Sounds good.
Is there anything you all would like to see go on the agendas?
I'm curious, actually unrelated, did Joel, when he's coming or?
He messaged and said he wasn't gonna make it. Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joel's not gonna make it. He said he's dealing with an emergency call for work. The next one is the events, for the next 4 months. Got several weddings here through the beginning of October. At the end of the month, that group's gonna do the haunted playground. They decided that they were gonna pay their full rate and they'll be in here that whole week doing their thing. They're gonna charge $8 a person to come in, and they're hoping to make it something that is an annual thing they do out here. Then we have our Clash of the Cowboys. Then we kind of get a little slower going into the holidays. We have some 4-H events, the food drive. That cat show is coming back in the week before Thanksgiving, and the flat track race is gonna come back Thanksgiving weekend. That's it.
Okay. We want to move on to the Bolton Bronx.
Yeah. So I printed you guys all off the layout. That's what we have in mind. There is one additional vendor that may be added. But all of the indoor vendor spots filled up very quickly. It was like less than 2 weeks. And all of them, we have quite a few people that are on a wait list in case something happens with those others. The one that's still pending is a gal that was here last year, Jay Lee. She's got a big giant, like 30-foot trailer. I told her we were all full, but since she has a trailer, if she was interested in setting up outside with the food vendors, that we could probably make that work. And we've been going back and forth, and it sounds like she's open to that. So, yeah, we can probably get another extra vendor outside. The list of all the vendors that have signed up are on that sheet. Several of them are returning vendors from last year, but there are some new ones. If you have any questions on any of those.
Does the lightning bolt mean returning?
No, that means they need power.
Oh,
Yes,
had one.
yeah,
I thought, oh, that's a cute way.
that's an icon for skin through on there, so that when we go to hand this to Andrew for setup, he knows who he's gonna get
No
power
problem.
from.
They need spiders. Okay.
Yeah, and then the cloud off of
See,
Rich by
that's-
Rob is, which side is this smoker on? Cause we've had.
I love it.
With
You
the
made it
smoke
idiot proof. and you
coming
made it
off of
idiot.
those and basically blowing into the other vendors.
I love it. Very good.
Yeah, sponsors,
You want me to
if you wanna touch
finish
on,
the update on that?
yeah.
Okay.
That's Mallory's
Um,
report.
Yes, so we have all of the major sponsorships filled. We're sitting with, close to, I believe, 25,000 secured in sponsorships. I have a handful more still out there. I think my end goal is 32,000 something, which is substantial and should pay for most everything. We do want to talk about, one of the things we have to provide for the group is 1.5 tons of alfalfa. I did reach out and I took about 5 calls, but we got it. And so we are solid. Brims is gonna donate 20 bales. We will pay the 15 leftover bales at $31.50 a bale, which is like $400 and something dollars. So that's a huge donation for us. So that's exciting. And then, I've talked to Robies. We're gonna try to get TVs in here so that the vendors can watch the show, as well. And anyone that trickles in here will still be able to have it on. They do have the ability of running what they've got going on in there in here through Wi-Fi onto those devices. So it should be fairly easy. We've got, talk about the vendors. I am hoping to do possibly like a little after party of some sort. What that looks like is gonna be probably in the next week or so, me trying to get that finalized. With the layout that we have, I think we could probably actually do it in here. Which would be a possibility. So we can talk about that a little bit more if we want to.
Yeah, I just know that the vendors are gonna be trying to pack that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the vendors would be too upset if they had an extra hour of bringing people in here after they had a little booze, so.
Right.
That's something to think about. So, that can be their discretion, whether they wanna pack up, they're welcome to, if they wanna hang out. Most of them probably are gonna try to stay in town anyways, so there's that option. Barrel racing wasn't on the docket, it is now. I've got all the spots filled up with very, very, very good competitors, that are coming from, a couple of them are in town. The rest are out of town at Battleground. It's gonna be, the barrels are gonna be, last year was a little sketchy. This year will be like really, really good. So that's exciting. We have a sponsor for a funny man. So we'll have a clown, which will help a lot of the entertainment throughout the night. I think I am missing probably a couple other things right off the top of my head, but that's
And
so
so
far.
in connection with sponsors, over the last week, I've had some conversations with the alcohol sponsor from the fair.
Mhm.
He said he'd be interested in doing one of the event sponsors. I told him they're all full, but basically the same level. So I think that's what, $900. He
Yeah.
would bring a whiskey, a vodka, and a tequila. The same whiskey, vodka, and tequilas he had at the fair, plus a couple of other options. Said Buffalo Trace, premium whiskey, and a grapefruit flavored vodka. And he's really just looking for signage up during the event.
Does he want to be our after party sponsor?
Yeah, I mean, we can call it whatever. but-
Yeah. I mean, that way he could, if we want to arrange it, and he could have it kind of up front and everything too. So that would be a way to get that done.
I've asked him, what he needs to move forward on their side, because they have a whole
Yeah,
vendor sponsorship agreement process they have.
okay. Yeah, let me know on that one. And then. Let's. Yeah, if anyone knows of anyone that would want to have a banner up, the arena banners are what we have left. I've messaged lots of people. So $400 gets you 2 tickets. But we can also get creative if we need to. And
We could do something on our social media if there's still those.
yes, I need to get that over to you because I have built it out. So I need to get that over to Kristen, talk to her about some other things too. So we'll get that going. The dummy roping, is gonna still happen. The buckles should be in hopefully in the next week. So we will get a post out on that to get pre-signups. I'll get that out. Oh, the alfalfa is in. So is there a way we could get that picked up like this week?
Potentially, yeah.
If we could figure that out, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, we'll talk with Andrew tomorrow.
Okay, other than that,
Yeah, I say we did have something on the agenda later to talk about alfalfa pricing. It sounds like we can table that.
I think we're good.
Advertising, so I've ordered some yard signs, they should be here at the end of the week. And then we need to update our flyer.
We looked at them by chance before we ordered them.
Person built it, and so we've got it, it's ready to go. We had to get it ordered because they wouldn't have been here till,
I know, I'm just thinking spelling wise and stuff.
yeah, no, it's all, we double checked the spelling. We need to update the poster. I thought we had already had a poster, but apparently what we had done was our Facebook ad. So that's the other one we'll be getting out as a paid Facebook ad. That'll run through the end of the month, which will reach people outside of our followers. It's so when those come in, like, the goal is to have the flyers and the yard signs in by the end of the week. And so if I can distribute some of those all out to you all at the end of the week or over the weekend to help get those hung up, would be helpful. We've got ads that will start running this weekend on the Fauna channel in the, gosh, can never remember, KRKZ? No, KRKZ. I cannot remember, the one that bought Stephanie and Rose, John Paul. And so, we'll have those two ads running similar to what we did last year. At Ohana, we'll do a couple of ticket giveaways as well. So hopefully that will get us sold out. As far as setup, we're really just cookie cuttering what we did last year. We did mock up the stage sections out there, so we want to look at that later on tonight and see what our thoughts are on how we want to make that work. But even if it's just the platform there for folks to stand on.
What are we at for ticket sales right now?
It's like 70. It's really low.
Yeah.
We haven't really done paid advertising
Right.
except for posts on our Facebook and we've done a email through our basically anybody that's bought a ticket from us before, we have their email address, so we send out that listserv.
Yeah.
But even last year, it was like 70% of the tickets were sold on Thursday and Friday
Right.
of the event.
Do we have, and we have Bruce announcing in here, did we do anything with cushions? Did we get those
Yes, the
ordered?
cushions are ordered.
Okay,
He said they will be here before
okay,
November 1st. I just said, when are they coming? He says, well, it'll be a while. Said, well, everything's November 1st and they'll be there by then, no problem.
okay. And then, the other question I had was, well, I guess I need to talk to Dusty about that. I'm hoping to do some sort of like little meet and greet stuff beforehand. If any of the guys are here, I know the kids would love that, so.
I do need to, basically everything's already lined up. I got 30 quotes for the mechanical bull, got the winning quote. He just needs to send me the paperwork because he's been over the phone. So as soon as he sends me the paperwork, we'll get the agreement. I've talked with Bruce. He's good. I just need to get his agreement done. And then I do need to get hotels for Dusty's team though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming along, which is really gonna be pushing into advertising now moving forward.
Okay, and have we just decided on a number that we're gonna cap out at?
I think what we have right now, it's at 1,700.
Okay,
So that's 100 less than what we had last year. And then if there's still some picture space, then we can always let more people in at the door. And then we also have all of our handicap seating marked much better.
Yep.
Than we did last year, and that was one of the bigger issues is that everybody was just standing. Folks couldn't see.
Perfect. Does anyone have any questions on that event or anything?
My question about handicap, that's the only thing I heard was.
Yeah.
Family member that was not happy about setup, but yeah, so that you're how to set up.
Or we'll have what we had to do is like the things were up the rung too high, and so the people, even if you weren't handicapped, if you were sitting on bench, you couldn't see anything.
Oh,
And so we'll bring that down one, and that'll be a lot better too. So, okay, so we'll move to reduced fees policy.
Yeah, so, we've discussed this twice. I went back and watched the meetings and I tried to capture what everyone's comments were on that. Let's see, where did I write them? So this work session, hopefully with the input you guys give today, we can have a final draft that can come to you guys next month, or if there's any last minute changes that we want to make next month when we adopt it. I think this is definitely a good networking conversation when you all are at the convention next week to be talking with other fairs about what they do with these types of requests. Granted, we don't have to do what everyone else does, but it'd be good to have some of that discussion. I did attach what our current pricing schedule is, and then I added another sheet that's more of like a template or worksheet for us to start working on in the future for setting our prices. 'Cause it gives you a better idea of what folks are being charged and what there's a lot of facilities and options that we have here that we don't currently even have a pricing for. So if somebody wanted to come and just use the parking lot, we don't have a pricing for that. Or if they just wanted to use the parking lot out front. If they want to use the whole facility. So going through these would probably be a good work session item alone, just for us to sit and chug and go through these one by one. This isn't necessarily directly connected to this particular policy, but it's really connected to everything when we're talking about security charges, deposit charges. But I just thought it would be good for you guys to have the pricing here in front of you for this. So I'm not sure which method you guys might want to use to go through this. I tried to make the changes using track changes, so nothing was deleted that. It's like, what's changed? You have a preference on how you'd like to go through this, or I can lead you through it.
I think just the highlights of what you changed would be good.
Yeah. So I made a comment just more in the introduction, kind of explaining the purpose of the policy. Just highlighting out that, all groups are expected to pay the full price. I mean, that's just what our business should be, is that we have prices set for the rentals. But then this policy allows for us to work with groups if they're going to provide some in-kind volunteering to help reduce their charge. Let's see, what did I make one comment there?
I think if you would, you don't need to reorganize it, but it's, because it seems to be event date based rather than the group based. Is that what I'm reading?
I mean, it's related to the event that any particular group would have, but
Okay. But like if that group has multiple events throughout the year, they'll be on multiple pages. Is that what I'm seeing?
I'm just trying to think through this policy, but I don't think any of the conversations we had, I don't think we were ever talking about multiple events, but it's something that we could add some wording into. If you have an idea of what.
No, I was
you
just
have in
looking at
mind.
the reduced fees list.
Oh,
The list.
yeah,
It's by
I'm
date,
assuming you're
but
referring-
not
yeah.
necessarily by organization or something like that.
yes, that is just listed out kind of chronologically.
Yeah.
Per event.
Right.
Um,
And that may come more into play when we talk about the reduced fees as part of the policy, so. I don't want to
I
get you distracted.
would say that spreadsheet is made kind of with the best information that we can come up with, because again, going back to our rental fee schedule,
Yeah.
it's not very detailed and not very comprehensive, so we're trying to plug some of these events into our current fee schedule when maybe that event didn't necessarily line up right. Like, you know, our arena rentals are really meant on a group that's coming in and they're having a ticketed event and they're charging, you know, tickets, and we're getting a percentage of those tickets. So when you let a group come in for a training or something like that, the price isn't necessarily fit correctly with it based off of that. So it is a little skewed, but it's as close as we could get with the fee schedule that we have now.
Just to double check, we have an MOU with 4-H, correct?
We do.
Okay, and then do we have an MOU with FFA?
We do not. We had
Had one
one.
mocked up, right?
We do, and
Yeah.
it's in their, it's been in their hands for probably a year.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure to point that out. I went through and counted. Technically, there's only 10 4-H events and they are allowed 11. Correct? Am I reading that correctly?
Well, I provided you guys an updated copy.
Yes,
Not an updated
I
copy.
underlined it right here.
You have the MOU?
It says OSU will be guaranteed.
And all of the events are listed on the,
Yeah.
like, the back page of the MOU.
No, I just, sorry.
And, you know, it includes events that are actually livestock.
Okay. I was just curious because I didn't include FFA and I thought I knew we had
Yeah. 11.
had that and like that was earlier this year.
On the women in timber event, I know it's called that, but that's misleading. Because
Yeah,
it's actually an FFA,
Yes,
Warrenton Fisheries, what else is on that?
all of them, all of them.
All the schools.
It's all
It's just-
schools. Yeah,
The school fundraiser.
it's all their like extracurricular
Yeah.
program.
Natural resources program.
Thank you.
yeah,
Natural Resources.
you know, so it's. The agreement we make is with the Working Women Timber Classic Working Watershed, then they donate their proceeds to those groups. And it's more than just those groups that they donate them to, and then they get those kids to volunteer to
Yeah.
help them put it on.
And this MOU is Master Gardeners is listed and, that they're included in it.
Yeah, so the MOU is with Extension,
Yes.
and so it's for all, it's really for all the extension programs where 4-H is their, one of their main programs, but it also includes the Master Gardener stuff they do out here.
So is there discretion then when it says Friends of the Fair and then under description, I'm seeing that Friends of the Show actually donate back towards.
So they have made donations to us, but it's not really part of the agreement. It's what they decide to donate
Correct.
to us.
So it's like in lieu.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's like they're donating, we're giving them a discount and they're making a donation with the money we give them.
Yeah, right.
Is it,
So it's like a
is it
wash.
marked for something they want?
Yeah, and then they, yeah.
It's for the benefit, but it's for the benefit of fairgrounds too.
List out with it.
They don't.
And it's been all towards stalls.
How did it get determined? Cause if you have in here, the fee rate's $2,500 for Friends of the Fair, but it's Friday afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, indoor and outdoor.
I know when I was looking through this, and again, this is something we slapped together based off of a big spreadsheet that we have tracking everything. The, some of these fees are kind of funky how they were worded in here. And I was like, I don't think that one's necessarily 100% accurate, because I mean, if it's $2,000 a day, they're in here for 3 days, so it's really $6,000 that they're getting, but. And it doesn't really fit because it's not a ticketed event, and
Yeah, but then it's funky though, cause they do make money off it though.
they do, yeah.
Then
Well,
you
and-
get paid to show.
And it says they're the Friends of the Classic County Fair. But I don't know if we have any kind of, well, I know we don't have any kind of agreement or relation with their program. So they're kind of using our branding for their.
So what it used to be, the reason it has that name is it used to be held more as like a 4-H show. All of us kids growing up, we all showed there as 4-H. The 4-H horse group has shrank a lot, so it's not so much that anymore. the horse industry period showing has shrank a lot.
Well, then they had
So
the
that
spring
was the
fair
association.
too. They held like a
Yes.
spring fair for horses.
Mhm.
One of the days of one of the horse shows.
Yeah.
That was just for like a pre-fair for
Mhm.
horses.
Okay. Yeah. Um.
So when we're counting the 4-H events, though, we're not counting the junior livestock events, is this
Oh,
correct?
library's coming.
Because
they're-
technically it's their own.
They're in there, and this is something that we brought up during the conversation of when we were talking about the MOU, because really that's not a 4-H. The weigh-ins aren't a 4-H event, they're
No.
a auction committee
Yeah.
event, and so there really needs to be an agreement with the auction committee that goes over those events that are theirs. Like I said, Faith is, I understand that Faith's now their liaison to the fair grounds, and the last conversation I had with her, it sounded like she was open to having that. We just need to get together and move it forward. Faith? Yes. And yeah, all of the 4-H stuff that's in the MOU is listed in here, but there is also a caveat in the MOU that says if we were to lose our levy, we would rediscuss what our fees were for them, but that is the cost of us, you know, having them here, not having a different paid event in here that day. Yeah, and this was more like as a snapshot for you guys to have an idea of some of the requests that come our way.
So this was put in place just to clarify, so they don't keep coming to the board's request.
For this policy?
Yeah.
Or for,
For the list of dates or the list of events.
Oh, listen.
this was just more of a demonstration of
For example.
the costs. So, you know, it's $41,000 worth of rentals that,
No, I meant on the MOU.
oh. yes, sorry.
I'm trying to keep up. No, the list of events on the second to the last page,
Yes,
those are ones that are standards that they don't need to come to the board to have.
Right.
earlier.
anything outside of these are not covered by the MOU and should be paying the rental price.
Does it state that in here somewhere?
Uh.
Referring to their eligibility.
Well, no, I'm just looking to minimize confusion going forward.
I think that would be at the board's
assumption that's
discretion.
stated in there, but I'm not sure.
So in the MOU, there's financial matters that says, unless otherwise specified, they shall not be charged for the events in attachment A. Meetings described in B.2, staging for events, storage of equipment. And it says any additional accommodations needed by OSU will be paid at their expense. Including restrooms, camping, lodging, tenting, seating, equipment rentals.
When did Sandra retire again? Was this after this or before?
No, it was before she retired.
Right before, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so she had eyes on this.
Yes.
Yes. And so the reason why I gave you guys a copy of that tonight wasn't really part of this discussion. It was more that when I made the binders that I gave to everybody, that hadn't been approved yet. The county and extension approved this in December. I made these binders in November, so it was right in that transition period where this wasn't executed yet. January, it looks like.
Okay.
So, yeah, back to the policy, you know, we had discussions mostly around. Um. Not having a percentage amount, but trying to set an amount per hour of volunteering. Of course, I went and made the changes based off the notes, but I didn't write down the notes. I think as I was rereading through this, you know, the eligibility portion, it says nonprofit organization and groups whose mission supports community development, youth programs, education, and public service. And I think something that would be good to get some additional input is because that could be really subjective for somebody to make a decision on, is that something that is community youth programs, education, or public service? I mean, I'm sure you could almost find a way to put every single event into that category.
Yes.
So if you had additional input on, you know, what you would want groups to be eligible for, granted, this is them providing volunteerism, so they are ideally providing a service to us that we need as well and mutually beneficial. You know, it's in here, fair manager, with fair board chair will review eligibility. Fair board may review requests that don't clearly meet eligibility criteria, and there's not really much except for those, that statement on what is eligible. The discount structure, you talked about the price of what it would cost us to hire temporary staff to do the work that volunteers would be doing. We landed on a $28 when we were discussing if that's the number you want to stick to. We talked about a cap of 50% of the total rental. Again, these were based off of me watching the videos back, and that was the discussion you all were having. I think it was comments based off of basically every event does have costs for us. We have administrative costs, utility costs, setup, equipment, wear and tear costs for everything. This was another note that we talked about. I don't know if the decision was made, but you know, if there was a cap for the total amount that you would want to waive in any particular year for everybody combined.
Like, so with the budget planning,
Yeah. I think I left it in there as a May set a yearly cap. The comment I made said, you know, this hasn't been thoroughly analyzed, right? I mean, I gave you guys the spreadsheet. This is what I could come up with in somewhat of a short time, but doing some deeper analysis on what are our fixed costs, what are our operating costs, our staff costs, updating our rental schedule so that everything fits better into the things that people are renting out here. So there is some additional work that could be done to help try to figure out what that cap should be. There was conversation about, you know, how to confirm if a group successfully, you know, fulfilled their responsibility. I don't know if we landed on saying that they have to do their volunteering before the event, or if we wanted to set up an agreement with them with some kind of way to track it, but and open to your guys' input on what you would like to see for that.
In a perfect world, it'd be great if they got it done before their event.
Yeah. I think some of that conversation was, you know, we really just have the fair that we're looking for volunteers for. I mean, there's other stuff, like we were talking just before the fair about doing a spring cleanup day. So doing stuff like that, coming out, helping paint, pressure wash, weed gardens, those types of things. Not weedy, but
Those are fair, reasonable requirements.
yeah, I mean, we have some events that we're looking to put on, like this Bulls and Bronx.
Right.
I'm not sure how much volunteerism we really need. Somebody doing some bathroom cleanups could be nice, and somebody keeping people from blocking the handicap areas could be a nice function, but it would be tough if everybody's event is before the fair. I mean, trying to get them to do their stuff in advance. But then, you know, what if they don't follow through?
Well, how often do people schedule stuff like a year in advance where like, let's say someone wants to do something in December, but they let us know in like June, and so they could do their volunteer hours during our fair, or is it always people schedule?
It's typically people will like book the same weekend that they hold their event for the next year.
Oh,
Yeah. And so if we get them in a program where they know that that's the expectation. Again, this would be something great conversation at the convention, when you're
Yeah.
talking with other fairgrounds about how they're dealing with these things.
Well, yes.
Okay. Well, we don't need to make a decision or anything like that, so if we don't have anything else to really add to it at this meeting, right? We
Yeah.
can just kind of,
I mean, if any of you have individual comments you want to send to me on this, and we'll bring this, it'd be good to get this adopted, so.
Yeah.
Bring this back at the next meeting, if we need to make some minor tweaks at that time, when we can get
yeah,
this one done.
perfect. Okay, does anyone have any comments they want to add to that before we move on? Okay, we'll move to the concert availability.
Yeah, so, you know, that original list, when we were looking at this last month, and when you remove the arrows from the marked up version I gave to them, it was really hard to tell which prices were in which range. And so I printed it off again for you all with it. They clearly shows the pricing.
Did we have a smaller list though that I thought?
No, I think I sent you guys some ideas that I had myself, but that was it. The other part of the conversation was talking with Romeo, because it's really a budget question.
Yeah.
So I have a meeting set with him for Thursday at 5 at the convention. And then he'll be there all weekend. We could potentially meet with him separately in separate meetings to kind of keep you guys from having a group meeting outside of the public meetings. But you know, having those conversations with him one-on-one about budget and you know, what to expect for sales when going from like a $40,000 price point to $100,000 price point. When I got the meeting set with him, he did mention Clay Walker. He said there's some favorable routing for Clay Walker. I know, I'm not terribly interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And oftentimes he can't just do his whole set.
yeah.
I've been at a couple of his concerts where that's happened.
I haven't responded to that yet, but it just say that was something that he threw out to me
It
last
was, I think, my number one last year that I.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be something I would be interested to know, like the return on investment, because I know like, John has Zach Top on here. I would love to see Zach Top, like, can we afford Zach?
He's like 200 something, we would
Yeah.
sell out,
Yeah.
this place would be insanely
Zach
packed.
Top is on your list?
Yeah.
And yeah.
This
Yeah,
place,
I would love
would be packed.
When I put that down, I was reading the list, so.
Yeah.
As
Before the arrows.
100,000.
Before the arrows.
Champagne.
It was really weird how they did, like, the page breaks in the middle, so it's like,
The arrows are super.
so we're like, you can get that guy for
I
this
like
much?
taste.
Oh.
Billy Ray Cyrus, yeah, let's sign
How
it.
much is that, yeah? Just out of curiosity.
250 to 500, I think.
We can afford it, fine.
This place will be packed, let me
Zach
tell you.
Brown's in the $500,000 and above. Yeah.
Okay, so,
So
That's amazing.
I
yeah,
mean,
so-
really, this is a decision that we're gonna be wanting to make
Gretchen Wilson.
soon. Like,
yeah,
if we could have this decision
Sam Kershaw.
at our November meeting would be ideal, because what we need to give them is like 4 picks. And they're gonna be working through them, because the first one may not accept their offer, and then we can't wait until the next board meeting to come up with a number 2. We've gotta give them a budget, the top 4, and work through them in this order. And get back to us.
So I will acknowledge my list was provided by a mid-20s-year-old country music fan and goes all the time. But she actually like did a little research about why for each one, and you know, she's been to every concert for the last 5 years here.
Yeah.
And so, I think I would think it'd be helpful if we have, you know, the why you would select someone. Like what is it that, might be a reason?
I think that on mine, I put that on there. Search social media. Search ticket sales in other places and everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you got a good list.
Yeah, so,
I know that.
you know, if the rest of you guys can come up with your list, then we can combine them together. We can provide that. A high level list over to Romeo and they can send us back some information like
Yeah, like a
their
list.
social media views and their ticket sales, recent ticket sales and
Okay.
recent ticket pricing, some data like that.
And do they already have some idea of which ones they would eliminate right off the bat, or is they already provided you a list of like?
They just provided this whole list. Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, some of them, like, they would kind of already know if they're gonna be touring East Coast and why bother coming? Why
I
bother?
think at the time they had sent this, it was probably still pretty early, but
Okay,
by the time we meet with them next week, he's probably gonna have a sense of
okay,
some routing that might be. Like somebody that's playing at the Farewell Fest the week before, or
yeah,
is gonna be playing at Watershed the week after.
right,
Those are the types of things that can help us get a deal or get somebody to accept an offer for.
yeah, so we would be the week before Watershed that way.
We'll be sandwiched right in between Farewell Festival and
Alright.
Watershed. And then the Jamboree is canceled. They're not gonna be doing the Jamboree anymore, so that takes a pretty significant event out of the region. I think the big point is, if you all wanna take another stab and send them, then I can try to like line up matching ones or some of what's already been proposed.
I mean, do we
Yes.
have like a idea of like a magical number we wanna stay below? Cause I think I tried to stay below like 125, but do we need to stay below 75? Cause I mean, there's so many options. I was trying to give a range, but I mean, do we?
So we've been paying 40 to 50 per year. And I think we were more like 120 with Trace Atkins and had a much larger crowd. I think there was probably like 4,000 people here that year. So those are the trade-offs. It's, if you're gonna pay more, you wanna know that more people are gonna come. You wanna feel warm and fuzzy that more people are gonna come to the show. If you wanna expect the same 2,500, 2,000, then we probably should be sticking in that $40,000 budget range.
Where was Clay Walker on that list?
I don't know, it was just something he threw out in an email.
Okay, I was gonna say it, I'm seeing where he was at, but,
He had said 75-ish. But that he was listed at 100, I think, when I talked to him, when he messaged,
okay.
so looking at 100 range.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just don't remember seeing them on there. Okay, well, we can, I think probably if we need to rearrange our list and then send it in. I would definitely obviously be interested in seeing, you know, if he says they're in line with coming here, that's probably easier.
Yeah.
To figure out, so if he could give us a list too of the people that would be
Routed,
routed. And that might help kind of narrow that down a little bit.
so there's likely opportunity for everybody that goes to the convention to send it through Eric at some point. So just being ready to have a conversation about acts by the end of next week. With them. And again, ideally at our November meeting, we're voting on.
Yeah.
Or maybe even after the convention, we're holding a special meeting
Yeah,
just to get him some names.
yep. That sounds good. Does anyone else have anything on that?
I don't have anything on this, but, kind of what we just brought on, Kyle, can we schedule a time for us to talk about the actual like fair rental costs and how much we're charging? Cause I know you like sent over maybe you said we have it scheduled, but.
No, I think, I think it could be a whole work session itself,
Mhm.
where we go line by line.
Yeah.
And we also get several examples from other facilities.
Altogether, yes.
Now, Looking at the rolling calendar,
I just feel like we're, on some stuff, we're low, like I can just see us losing money on some stuff.
yeah.
We're not, like, we're low compared to other places on things.
So at our November meeting, we do have, quite a few items here to talk about in our work session. We could potentially touch on it. If you guys want to take that and kind of do some of the homework prior to the meeting we could probably do a rough go through with it or we can basically schedule the majority of our December meeting to be talking about that.
And
Or if you all want to have a special meeting just to talk about.
I think if we really should be deciding everything by the end of the year. So if we need to have another session scheduled in, I think that's important because, we need to stop procrastinating on a lot of this stuff. We've procrastinated almost 4 months, 5 months on the pricing and everything. So I'd like to see we schedule another meeting that we just do a work session, just working on pricing and making sure we hammer down the act and everything else. So by the end of November, we go to December.
Trying to pull up.
Starting planning for the fair.
Say, with us Jamie convention middle of October and then bull riding event the end of November. Our meeting's on November 4th. Maybe if we plan something the week or the second week of November to talk about that, and then you can be ready in December to make a decision.
That'd be okay.
Well, I have a couple questions first. You talked about having a special conversation about, concert artists.
Yes.
Are you going to do that? Is it gonna be like just virtual meeting? We get together on some evening? Get that locked in the week after the convention or something?
If you all would like to do that, we could do that. That would be the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of October. That'd be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, I would imagine that'd be a very brief meeting. I mean, it shouldn't take more than 10 minutes if you guys have names that you're ready to go with. In October. Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday is better for anybody.
Okay.
Wednesday, I'm gonna have surgery. I can't be.
About 22nd.
Wednesday.
You're having.
Yeah, it was on the 15th and the 22nd.
This is the 21st, Tuesday, October 21st.
Will that give you time though, because you're gonna talk to Romeo, you're gonna kind of filter it down to like what he thinks is possible.
My hope is that by the time I leave the convention on Saturday, that I've got a pretty good idea
Okay.
from which direction we're going, but we'll have to have a meeting for you guys to make.
We're
The
looking for a
ticket.
decision on that date.
Yes.
21st is good for me. I think it's one.
21st is okay with me.
You're gonna wanna do it at 5 or at 6?
What do you think would work better for Joel?
Probably later.
Probably
Is
6.
he gonna be busy?
Oh, yeah, is, yeah.
I can't make it on that. I have surgery scheduled for
Oh.
cataract surgery on the
On the
21st.
Like you said, the Wednesday.
On the 22nd, yeah. I don't know.
Tuesday the
That's so much
21st
stuff.
or Wednesday.
21st, are you available, John?
What is it, the 22nd, Wednesday? No, I have cataract on the 22nd.
21st is
Me.
covered.
21st I can make it.
Yeah, okay.
6 PM, 21st.
And person online,
We can do either,
I don't care, I
yeah.
just wanna know if Zoom show up.
Let's plan for it to be virtual and then I'll check in with Anthony and see if you guys can take a meeting, if you take action virtual only.
Oh.
Are you aware? Can we take action at a virtual meeting?
Yeah.
Sounds really cool.
You did your.
Yeah.
Virtual.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then if we, November 4th is your next regular meeting, if you want to plan for following week or the week after, or the second or third week to talk fee schedule?
You're referring to November, I'm sorry, right?
Yes.
November after the 14th, I'll be out of the country, 2 weeks.
Or starting 14th through the 22nd, I'll be traveling for work.
What?
November.
Before the 14th, sounds like.
So,
Do the 12th, that's a Wednesday, that's. What does that say? Tuesday's a holiday.
And
It's
it's
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day,
It's on a Tuesday this year?
yeah,
yep.
so that's.
Always the 11th.
Oh, there as far as a Monday.
I did too.
Mm-mm.
It changes now, it goes with
No.
days.
We do Wednesday the 12th.
Oh, yes, I thought for
Yeah,
it's on school, stuff like that.
Not 5 o'clock.
Okay.
5 o'clock.
The 12th is okay for me.
Fine.
You guys tell me.
Or no, I'm not making a decision, I just.
It's up to you guys.
What we
Five or-
said 6, probably because of children.
No, that was just that one where we're still doing
That one.
virtual. 'Cause if we're gonna do a working session, I don't want to get out of
Oh,
10.
sorry. 5 o'clock is.
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll let us know what we need to do to prepare for both of those.
I think, the one for the artist pick, it's just, having those conversations with Eric at the conference, looking at the list again, really it's getting into a budget and then picking artists that you like that are in that budget range.
So you'll talk to Romeo, about if when we get our names and we, or either you or us, or however we're gonna do that, put down like the cost range next to their names.
Yeah.
So we kind of know too.
Yes.
All
And
right.
then for the other one, at this point, if we could take that sheet that I put in here, the one that has all the blank squares. And just think about numbers that make sense for those facilities. That you guys think is reasonable.
Alright.
And if there's things on there that you don't think should be on there, or if there's something that's not on there that you think should be on there.
The sheet with all the empty spaces on fees.
Yes.
Sort of.
Listen,
In the.
I can resend this to you guys.
I don't know.
Hello?
You sent this all self.
And you sent us.
It's after the, oh, it's this one right there.
Yes.
Okay.
I will resend that to everybody and explain what's going on with that sheet a little bit clearer.
Okay. We are 3 minutes away from a regular meeting. The last thing on here was discussion among board members.
Yeah. So you guys had your joint session and then I sent you all a message afterwards with the Polk County bylaws and their policy, but really tried to circle back and this could be a good opportunity for you guys to have a discussion amongst yourselves and try to get to where have a common understanding or just how you all can work together to be a more effective board. And just making this time available for you guys to have these conversations because you can't really have them outside of the meeting.
I think it's unfortunate Joel's not here. I think he has a lot to offer in this part of this conversation. That's kind of disappointing that he's not here. But definitely, I think that, I've expressed that there is a opportunity for this board to look for methods to work together better and to operate more effectively and efficiently so that we can be more of a contribution to being come to meetings prepared, making sure that we're aligned on what are the rules. So there's just so much ambiguity as to what the rules are, what decisions are made. I think that's one thing that I think would be really beneficial.
Right, do you want to elaborate on any of that or examples or ideas?
Yeah, I think that if Kyle communicates that there's things that he needs, I think he should be able to get a response from the team in a fairly effective turnaround, and everybody looks and reads what come to the meeting prepared and responds to him so that he's better prepared. So any number of the things is a fairly common pattern where we don't have people coming to the meeting prepared. Looking through the agenda, Kyle was very clear about what he needs from us and from the board. And it's like, it seems like it's a bit of pulling teeth. He's here to support us, and really this board is ours to run. And carries a lot of that burden, and we could be better suited by stepping up and figuring out how we can be better prepared and contribute and align as a team, and these meetings would be more productive.
I guess. Just, I mean, side note from that, I mean, I get that I've been here since July. And maybe there's been discussions that have happened before I was here, but I think. It felt like. With the commission meeting, it was kind of. I don't wanna say blindsiding, but I feel like we had never had any sort of that I was here for, and then you come in and say that, like, if you're involved with 4-H, and I'm not gonna, I don't know your exact verbiage, so I'm not quoting you verbatim. But that if you're involved with 4-H, it's an ethical concern, and then about keeping track of like our training, and I just seem like. From my perspective, that I was unaware that there was such a big issue that you felt like, and then. Like the commission meeting was not the time for like us all to discuss it, so I wish that we could have had. Some sort of discussion before it got brought to the next level. Maybe there was one and I wasn't there for it, but I felt like. From my aspect that I was. Just got here and I was thrown into some sort of pot with everyone else on issues that I. Felt like it was not my view of things.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. I was asking for clarification from the commissioners, just trying to understand. Became pretty clear that they're very passive role, so they are.
I mean, I just. Want to make it clear from my perspective that, well. And. I know this always seems to boil down to 4-H, and I just, in the specific 4-H sense, I just wanted to be clear that yes, I'm an advocate for 4-H. But I'm also an advocate for anything that benefits the community. And I think that's kind of real, right? We're here because we want to benefit the community. And I mean, I don't have, I've toddlers and a baby, so like, I don't have kids in 4-H. Do I think it's great? Yes.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
But I mean, I just want to be clear, I'm not just here for 4-H, I'm here because I think Fairground's great. I've came and stuff here forever, and I want it to be successful. I want my kids to grow up, to them to be able to come to like Ducks Unlimited, and I think it'd be a shame if it wasn't here.
Yeah, that's why I was here for that as well. There and absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that we're all here for the whole community. I think what I'm hearing is maybe two different things from the commissioner meeting to now. I think right now we're talking about not being at a level of maybe what we should be at. But the commissioner meeting was very much more so like we weren't doing the right things. And so I just want to make sure I understand as well that, because I do have a kid in 4-H, but I'm also like involved with a ton of other things through the community, and I am very involved with the community on multiple different levels, but I might not be the best at sending everything in every second, but I will get $30,000 worth of sponsorships and get a paid revenue event for the fairgrounds, and it's like the only one that we have. And so, you know, my name might not be on here giving a list of people to, you know, come and sing at the fair, but I think we all, as, you know, we talk about being different, and I think that that's how you have a successful board is not everyone is gonna be the same, not everyone's gonna agree on anything. I think that's how you have a healthy board. I think we all bring different things to the table too. So.
I would imagine in your work environment that if there's a request and there's a commitment, that you kind of look for everyone to fulfill this. Agree to that?
Yeah, I know that I have employees that are stronger suited on some things, and some things, you know, other people are looking for, so. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, I think the reason I think Kyle, I'm assuming he, presented a different policy, because I think there are opportunities for us to have some consistency. And, align on how things operate, how meetings are run. I think there's that question of like, when the public can speak, when they can't, how we interact with the public. You know, that's just one example that would be in a board policy that would, I think, would be good for us to have that conversation. But if you guys don't think there's anything wrong, then
I mean, I can see that wanting to have like how a meeting is ran in public comment, there does need to be uniformity on how it's. We need to keep it the same way, whether it's a, like a positive conversation versus something more heated. Because I go with my job, I go to lots of different, like, city council meetings like that, and I mean, I do see the benefit of having some sort of more uniformity, because it's like, well, we're able to talk back and forth if it's positive, but then if it's not, then it's okay, we have these rules we have to in place, so it just needs to be.
yeah, agree, a consistency. I mean, that's the right thing to do, especially. for the public.
Yeah, and I think,
Yeah.
and one thing. And this is a question for you, Kyle, so when we have work sessions and we bring someone in to like, talk with them, so like, for instance, with. The meeting we had up in the annex like 2 months ago, and I can't remember her name, the community in the. She was online. Katrina, thank you. So, thank you, I could see her and I couldn't think of her name, like, so she had discussed, gave her a presentation and stuff, and then she had something she had wanted to add that was along the same lines, but wasn't her specific presentation. Can there be back and forth when we've invited someone to be there once their presentation is done, or?
I think to clarify, that was working session, she presented,
Yeah.
board meeting, she had a question.
Or I thought it was still the working set, I thought it was, I mean,
I'd have to go
But-
back and.
but just in general, could it be in working session as
Uh,
long as we've invited?
I mean, I suppose it could, I mean, really, that's. The role the chair should be taking to, control that meeting and be consistent. I've seen it both ways in different boards where some of it's restricted and it's, you were invited to talk about this. But then other meetings, the chair of the board has decided to allow other folks to speak. It's kind of that prerogative of the chair to do. I think being consistent is important.
Well, and just to clarify, in that one, I was filling in for Mallory as chair, because she was at remote.
Yeah.
No, that was just my example, I was just curious
Yeah.
if it works, that was just the one time I've seen it happen, I was just curious if it works.
Well, that's the thing, I think if there was clarity on that, right, then we would all say, as a board, we agree, this is how we're gonna handle these situations. And then have it
I
align.
would say that, it can be a slippery slope, because then now you've let somebody speak and then you shut somebody else down, so having a more consistent, that this is the way it's gonna be.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
And avoid those types of issues.
work sessions were more so confusing for me, because I knew like public meetings, you had your time to talk, that was it. Session, that wasn't.
So am I wrong in the fact that when we start a work session, we do state that it is not generally an opportunity for public comment?
Correct.
And then when we have our board meeting, we give time for the public comment?
Yes,
Okay, so what do we need to change then, if that is confusing?
Katrina interjected in the middle of someone else.
Well, I don't wanna talk about,
Specific.
I don't wanna talk about a specific thing, I think we get ourselves in trouble when we speak about a
Oh,
specific
okay.
thing.
All
I
right.
think in general, what do we do in that case? In the case of like, how do we make this more clear?
We stick with what we've already documented. And state public comment is at the beginning of the board meeting. And they have their 3 minutes, and then that's it.
Okay. Okay, so our current thing is fine, is what I'm hearing.
Well,
It
yeah,
just needs to be held,
yeah,
to us,
right, yeah. And if the person facilitating the meeting says no, they're not overridden by somebody else.
The only comment I have is that we have to support Kyle, so when Kyle sends out something he needs our opinion on, understand we all have our other lives and everything. But in order for Kyle to come to the meeting prepared, we need to let him know what our thoughts are. So if he asks for, for us to take the ethics course because it's required to be on the board, we should do that without having to be prompted. The same, and without him having to every month say the same thing. Or if, he asks for the names of like you said, names for the acts, he's trying to put together this program for us to talk about. And we don't have everybody's answers. So we just need to be able to respond to Kyle to help him do his job. Because I'm sure he gets frustrated not seeing the responses.
I took the course as soon as the link came. So I joined so late.
So I think we figured that part out earlier. I think we were on the discussion of, work session and, regular meeting.
I was just responding to your comment. That's all.
And I didn't mean to confuse anything there. I just wanted clarification on that, because I knew work sessions were a little bit different. There in the positions on that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, we had like a work session with the community where it was all collectively having a conversation, and that was the intended use of that
Yeah.
special session.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
is that with the, like, neighbors?
Yeah. Yeah.
With that, I think it's productive that you guys are having this conversation, and it's something that maybe regularly you have these types of conversations on how you should or will work with each other. I mean, and really, like I said in the message after the meeting, like, this is an opportunity. I mean, obviously, you guys aren't necessarily all seeing eye to eye on how the meetings have been going, and it's not gonna get better if you aren't talking about it. So it is a good opportunity that it's out, and hopefully you can continue to build on it and we can be a more effective team.
Yeah, because I mean, it's definitely, at least for me, like, I feel like it's not a comfortable conversation, but I think if we don't talk about it, it's just gonna keep festering, and we're all gonna dread coming to meetings because there's all these unspoken feelings. If we all just kind of lay it on the table, good, bad, or indifferent, at least we know how each other feels and we can work through it and then come to our common ground, because we're all here for the same reason, and we're not paid to be here. We're volunteering, so we should enjoy doing it.
No, I agree. I think we are volunteers, and it's fair practice of other people's time. Right, because ideally we get to the point that we prepare ourselves to come to the meetings and we resolve it, and it actually may make us have less special sessions because we're more efficient and prepared for the.
All right. Anyone have anything else on that?
Nope. I'm done.
All right, does anyone need to take a break really quick before we start our regular meeting? Okay.
Right there.
All right, well, we have 6:13 on the clock. We'll go ahead and start our regular meeting. Call the order. We've got everyone here except for Joel, who has an excused absence. We have the agenda approval.
Yeah, say with the agenda approval, we can table the rough stock feed business item. So if someone wants to make a motion to approve the meeting with that removed.
I make one to approve the meeting with the. My brain can't think. Removal of the rough stock feed.
Great, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
One thing, sorry.
Motion carries. Sorry, go ahead.
Another thing I would add, David Cook is with the planning department. He's been on as a attendee. I did promote you to speak, David, so when we get to the IGA, or if you want to introduce yourself now, I'm not sure if you can hear us or not.
Yeah, you sound great. I'll introduce myself real quick. David Cook. I'm the planning manager with the community development department. So you probably remember working with Jay. I'm in Jay's position now, and I'm hoping to kind of take over the work that Jay had started with you guys. So I'm just here to learn a little bit about what has gone into your strategic plan and where you are looking to take it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So more than anything confirming he could hear and speak there.
All right, we'll go ahead and, at this time, anyone wishing to address the Fair Board concerning items of interest on or off the agenda may do so. The person addressing the Fair Board will, when recognized, give their name and address. For the record, all remarks will be addressed to the whole board and limited to 3 minutes per person. Fair Board members reserve the right to delay any action if required until such time when they're fully informed and the matter is scheduled as an agenda item. Do we have anyone for public comment? So, okay, we'll go ahead and move to the consent calendar, for minutes. Approval and approval on that. Got our second minutes. And then anyone want to make a motion on that?
I move to approve the minutes.
All right, and do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. Go ahead and move to board member reports. Did I start us off?
I was not here last week, because I had surgery, so I don't have any updates. I do want to talk about making sure we get it on our schedule at some point in time to do a little retrospective from the fair, especially at the operations work that was done. What went well, what didn't go well, and I think, you know, you had a conversation, a number of people have mentioned how can we better support Kristen next year in that role. So I think it'd be good for us to figure out a portion of our work session and to have a wrap on that. Not urgent.
Okay. You wanna go? Okay, nothing. Abby?
No, I was on mine last month, I don't have anything.
Okay.
Nothing to report.
Okay, John?
I'm good.
Okay, and I think I gave, update on the event, so I think that's about all I have. So we can move to the manager's report.
Yeah, so we've basically been 100% spending our time working on field maintenance, managing the roof project. It's nearly complete. They basically just down to a couple more gutters and the trim detail along that edge of the building. They were here yesterday, said that they've got to pull off for a week, so they won't be back until after next week, but they're getting really close on finishing it, and I haven't seen a leak yet. So doing good. They've done a really good job. I've been up there a few times and they've been sending weekly reports. So I think we're gonna have a really good product when we're done. Field maintenance is coming along. There's a lot out there to do. We're gonna get a lot of it done. It's gonna drain a heck of a lot better than it has in a long time. I did this section this morning and there were sections there, it was probably holding back 10 or 12 inches of water. So it's gonna be a big improvement. Now, that being said, I don't think everything that was on the plan from ELS that we're gonna just physically be able to get done before the rain comes. There's just so much to do. And a lot of it is that we're cleaning up from poor work that was done in the past. Like they did the work, they left us up there, it's piled up. We've got to move all that so that we can even clean the ditch. Talked with Nathaniel, he was saying he would help us with the spoils and reseeding and stuff like that. And so hopefully before all the weather starts, we'll get it all buttoned back up and ready so that it's good to park on next summer.
Question on that, do we have to stop working on it at some point before the rain?
Not necessarily, I mean, we gotta be able to drive the machinery down there, that's the big thing. You're really coming back from convention, we're gonna need to be focused on getting ready for this rough stock event, so we're not really gonna have the time to be doing much more down there anyways after this next week, so, you know, if we have a nice dry in November, we might be able to get a little bit more work done. Let's see, that's been coming along. I think it's going to look a lot different this winter, and we'll just hope the work that we were already able to do, because it was just so silted in. The other thing we've been really focused on is this Rustock event. You know, Mallory's done a lot in the planning, and we're working on the stuff on our side with vendors and layout and food and all those things. So, I'm excited for this. I think it was great last year. I'm hoping that we have every bit of crowd that we had last year, and then maybe next year it's a 2-day event. We'll see. I'd say the only other thing to maybe hit on is just prepping for convention. I'm on the convention committee, so I had access to the full agenda. I don't think this is necessarily out there for everybody, but I gave you guys all a copy of the full agenda as it lays now. This is pretty much the final draft, maybe a couple typos, but all of the breakout sessions and everything are in there. So if we want to start planning how your days will look at the conference, or if you have any questions that you'd like me to go over with you on that agenda, you know.
I was just curious, what days are we all planning on going? 'Cause, like, I'm only going Thursday.
So Mallory, Stephanie, and you are going Thursday only. Elise is coming on Friday and Saturday, and then MJ and John are doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Joel came.
Dang, baby.
Did I miss something? Did you clarify what our lodging situation?
Yes, so I have the reservations for John and Elise. They're only doing the days, they don't have a hotel. Yours, I called them today and I was like, we have a special rate, and she said, let me forward you to that person, and then I got a voicemail. So as soon as I get it, I will email you your reservation.
Okay.
We got the reminder today from Washington County Fair that says, look before Friday. I think she had said they don't have a lot of reservations for lodging that have been booked. She's like, because she has a strong relationship with all their hotels. Because they have so many conventions there that she's constantly talking with their hotel folks. And she's like, how many people have used your codes? But they have great turnout for this. They said the attendance registration is up from last year at the convention, so should be a lot of people there. But yeah, I've got it coming. That's on my to-do list. I say that's really all I have. Is every free minute I've had has been working on this field work or on the rough stock event. Getting this packet put together was something where it was like, I need to be in that machine, but I gotta get this packet done. So
And when did you want us to come pick up signs, or you gonna let us know when
the delivery says they'll be here on the 9th. I don't know if that means the 9th in the morning or
Okay.
after I leave, but as soon as I get them in, I will send you all a message and say, I have signs, how can I get them to you?
Maybe I'll see if I can do stuff at Kristen's house. I want to see like that.
Yeah, Kristen's on vacation all week this week, so she won't be back till Monday.
Good.
Yes.
Just have a stacker outside the house.
Yeah. That's all I have for a report.
Okay, we can move to business agenda with David, right?
I'll take this part on, but I don't know if there's any specific questions that you do have regarding the strategic plan, David, or how up to speed you are. Yeah, well, he can ask, basically what we have that, planning provided us and they submitted with the agenda item for approval of the scope of work was something that actually created an agreement with us. I mean, the scope of work is the work they're gonna do, but it's not necessarily an agreement. And so she worked with Anthony and they drafted up this IGA, which basically just the contract between our departments. And so if you guys can approve this, then I'll sign it for the fairgrounds and then Don will sign it for the planning department. If the county board approves it tomorrow. Which it sounded like they were really happy with the direction you guys were going with this plan.
Yep. All right, do we have an approval for that?
I move that we vote on with approval of this agreement with the county, move forward with it.
I think we were looking at, you need to read it,
What?
that you need to read the line.
Highlighted.
There's a request to
Oh,
that.
I moved to approve the IGA from Clatsop County Planning Department to develop an updated strategic plan for the fair and expo.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries.
You see that on my thing.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Good. David, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, nothing at this time. I'll be at the board hearing tomorrow. So I'll take any feedback that the board might have, and maybe I'll see one of you guys there. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to working with you guys. Our director Gail had asked if I had any interest in working on this, because if not, she was going to do it. But I do have interest, so happy to sort of be your guys' planning liaison, and I hope we can work well together.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, on that topic, we have any sessions planned?
We do not, and so, I mean, they haven't approved it yet, but I
Yeah.
suppose I could get that conversation going about some scheduling.
Yeah.
On what that looks like. I'd have to refresh myself what the scope of work says for the next item, if it's just data collection and it's really work for me to do to provide them. Or if there's like a kickoff meeting that you wanna have. So I will ask those questions and get back to you all.
All right. Last thing we have on here is the finance report. If anyone has any questions on that.
And this is just July and August of the current fiscal year.
Thank goodness something blew it up because I couldn't read this.
Yeah, there's a lot there, so I suppose maybe I could break this into 2 pages for you guys, maybe that would make it a little.
Just look at it on the computer.
Does anyone have anything on that or any questions? Okay. So move to the good of the order. No one has anything? Yeah.
I don't, but do we, I know it was mostly donated. Do we need to agree to pay for the?
We tabled that, that was a different discussion
Oh,
for where we were gonna potentially buy it from other options. But if we have a donation, then that kind of makes that
That's partial
conversation
donation.
move, yeah.
I mean, if we went through the list of everything we have to pay for.
No, I just,
Yeah.
if we didn't pay the donation, is that what it was?
No, it was depending on different parties.
Yeah.
If we had other options, but. Okay. Okay, perfect.
Which
Thank you.
that reminded me that I already forgot I need to list coordinate pickup.
And-
Thank you, for Mallory Cal for your work on Ruffles abroad.
And I'm looking forward to the strategic plan. Let's get it done.
I think, again, just thank you guys for having some of those open discussions with each other and hopefully it's a step to this being a more effective team.
Awesome.
Oh, one other thing, sorry, I had it in a note, so again, the vacancies have been noticed, and we did try to word it correctly. It says these terms are expiring at the end of the year, not that they're currently vacant positions, but if you are interested in reapplying, reminder to get your application in before the 31st. I know we've got 3 applications that have come in already. Don't remember the names. I know one of them's John's. But I will get you guys all them at some point, so you can be looking at them.
Awesome. All right, thank you. Have a great night.